Right, for today's demonstration we're going to do suspension checks. We're going to get the car up in the air, take the wheel off and show you the correct way to tighten up the wheel nuts after you removed it. First things you do when we're in the workshop is you check your hydraulic ramp, you check your pads, make sure they spin as they should, all the arms go in and out, and it's all serviceable and up to scratch. You then check all four arms go along the correct jacking points of the car. On this one you have like a double thickness plate along the sill, front and back of the car, so you know exactly where it goes. This side has been done. Double checking the other side. Looks okay. I'll begin to lift up the car now. The car has got the ramp's got simple controls, just go up and down. That's what I'm doing now. As you get the ramp up, you want to try and work at chest height. Being in the trade for a long time, you realise how valuable your knees and your back are. Also, working at sort of chest height, you can look into the wheel arch and then you can actually see what you're doing and make sure that you don't miss anything. So you stick your lead light on, and the first thing you would do is just to shine it up into where the strut is. You're checking for corrosion around the base of the spring. See a bit there, you're checking for any breaks. Excessive corrosion on the strut. You then have a look at the top to make sure no breaks on the spring up there, no excessive corrosion. Grab hold of it, make sure the mounting points are okay, which seems alright. Your next check is going to be the tyre. What you do is you check in the outside wall, so you're looking for splits, anything above 25mm, looking for bulges, cuts, any sort of damage, any sort of curbing that the car might have done, so you look for buckled wheels, cracked rims, anything like that. You turn the steering, full lock. What you're looking for is over 1.6mm, so if you look here, you can see in here you've got minimum wear indicators. Now what you might see as well is that the tyre is actually beginning to split all the way around the rim. So you would have to write that down and say to the customer that they need a new tyre, because that, if it was driven at speed, could end up with the tyre blowing out and could end up having an accident. So you need to address that and tell the customer. Like I said, what you're looking for is over 75% of the tyre, 3/4 of the tread, you're looking for 1.6mm. So as long as it's above those little indicators in there, you know it's okay. You're looking for any damage, any nails, stones, sharp objects, and anything that might cause the tyre to blow out or damage. You're also looking on the inner edge, same as before, splits, bulges, cuts, any sort of damage again to the rim, make sure it's okay. Next thing you're going to do for suspension checks is you're checking your steering arm. So on the end of the track rod of the steering rack, you've got a track rod end. Track rods tend to have movement side to side. As you can see, there's a lot of movement in this. I know from experience that's the hub not done up tight enough. So someone's had the drive shaft loose. As you can see there, that wheel moves up and down as well. If that was to happen in the real world, 9 times out of 10 it would probably be a bearing. So what you would then do is you spin it, and if it makes a rumbling noise, you know your wheel bearing's unserviceable and you need to change it. It sounds a bit like a rumbling tyre. You get what's called feathering on the inside of the edge of the tyre when a strut goes. It looks like a wave pattern, and basically it causes the same symptom, which is a rumbling noise when you're going down the road. So top and bottom's bearing, side to side steering rack, and then spin it and hold and listen for any vibration. We then stick the car right up in the air. And then as we're underneath the car, you're then checking the joint. Well, I can see straight away that that hasn't been fitted correctly because the top of the ball joint's not in. You can see the nut's still loose. I suspect if we wobble it, like I said, the hub nut is loose, therefore the drive shaft's loose and it's moving around on the bearing, which is what I've said from experience. I knew that's what it was. You can also grab drop link. As you can see, this one's loose, causing excessive movement. If you were to go over a road, drive down a road over speed bumps, anything like that, that would chatter away and you'd hear it as you're going along chattering away, and you know that that was worn. It may also affect the handling as well, being that loose. As you can see, someone else has left a nut loose on the track rod end, which is something else that needs to be addressed, and they've also left a nut loose on the top of the strut. So there are several faults on this vehicle. The disc itself looks okay, and I can see that the pads are pretty much new. They've got about 10mm on them, looking at that, so we know that's okay. Also, you'll notice there's grease leaking out of the CV joint, which means that that will need to be replaced or investigated to see if the clip's leaking. Apart from that, that is all of your suspension and brake checks that you would do on a standard service. All right, thank you.